What's up, guys? This is K-Lo, and normally I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, but we are cooking up some more gaming news here on Community Kitchen. And who better to join me than my sous chef of the day? Aden, why don't you say what's up?
What's up, people? If you like us, then you should subscribe and join us in our kitchen.
Yeah, welcome to the kitchen. And, there was a special on today's menu, but sadly, we cannot cook it up because, quite frankly, they're just not available, and it's looking pretty bad. Today, we're going to be talking about the NVIDIA GTRX. How many letters can they fit in this damn thing? Honestly, full transparency here. While I'm very in tune with gaming news, the numbers, the letters, shout out to Mason, I'm not really too in tune with that. So we are talking about the GeForce RTX 5090s, of course, the popular graphics card that is sweeping the nation. Matter of fact, a little local news here. I seen people camping out for this damn card like 5 days in advance. Aiden, people are crazy.
Yeah, they are. I've seen so many posts on I went to a Reddit, I went to the subreddit for the RTX, and oh my God, people were insane. They were posting images of themselves camping out. They were posting pictures of them purchasing a 5090 or a 5080 and going "Oh my God, I was outside for 5 days waiting for this." And I'm like, dude, that's that's crazy. I mean, I'm sorry. I know you love it, and more power to the PC community. Love PC community in general, but it's a little absurd if you're spending 5 days waiting outside, especially with the cold that we've been having.
Yeah, no. A little non-gaming sector of my life used to be sneakers. I was very into Jordans and all that stuff. And even then, you'd enter the raffle, and then you'd line up outside the Foot Locker. I waited at most for a pair of sneakers. Maybe an hour, maybe two. I mean, way back in the day, it used to be a thing where you kind of sat out and you camped out like you did for these graphics cards. But personally, no material object or anything like that is worth camping out 5 days. I mean, I always look down upon the people that go to New Year's Eve in Times Square, and they're all camping there for 5 days because we want to look at the ball drop. No, I'm sorry, it ain't happening. Now, I want to point out, to kind of get back to the graphics card thing real quick. Apparently, the supply of the 5090 is looking shaky. That's according to Tech Radar. And Overclockers has the worst case scenario for an estimated time of arrival for these things, 16 weeks. And that's for the RTX 5090. Now,
So 4 months.
just about. Now, the 5080 is better. That could take up to 6 weeks. But again, that's all in the UK and stuff like that. Just to kind of give you a gauge as far as where we stand with all this. But that's not the only bit of news, because if you did get your hands on one of these cards, apparently they're getting bricked because of a driver or a BIOS update or something like that. Might I add, these things are, what we say, $2,000, if not more.
They are 1,000 for the 5080 or 2,000 for the 5090.
Okay, so this is according to WCCF Tech. Chinese forums, including Chappelle, Baidu, I know I'm butchering those names, and even the social media outlet Bill, or Billy Billy. Again, weird names. Just call them Game Sandwich or something like that, please. A bunch of these reports of the NVIDIA's GeForce RTX 5090D are ending up getting bricked. These are two variants that have caused this issue for manufacturers. The colorful and manly variant, again, what's with these names? I honestly don't know. However, there are a few reports of Gigabyte's RTX 5090D GPUs having that same issue. Moral of the story here: you can spend $2,000, which is more than my whole PC combined, and it could still get bricked. Wild stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't see why they're getting bricked. You'd think that like NVIDIA would have done like significant testing to make sure this issue doesn't happen. And that's only for the people like assuming that they bought it from the store. Some people might be having this issue and they bought it from a freaking scalper online for like 5 grand.
Yeah, so this user says they hooked it up to their PC, booted it up, and they were installing the drivers, as you normally should. Screen went black, and the graphics card could no longer be recognized, and the user checked both the DP and HDMI interfaces, and apparently, for lack of better terms, you're up shit's creek without a paddle. My graphics card was maybe $500, and even then, that's like a knife in my heart. I'm sure the Force heard me loud and clear whenever I dropped the money for it. And even then, it's like this weird AMD whatever card. It's whatever at this point. But still, I view it as I'm spending $2,000. $2,000. Not even on the whole PC build, but this card alone. And one, it's hard to get. I don't know, like, is there any marginal upgrades over, like, whatever card came before this? I don't know. I know there's someone who is a PC enthusiast watching this video, and they are boiling at the fact that we are just yapping at length about, oh, you spent $2,000, it doesn't work. But still, like, fundamentally, if I went out and bought a car...
That extra 1 frame per second is worth it.
Yeah, but fundamentally, if I went out and bought a car and it didn't work, I would be pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just naive.
No, it's not just you. It's me, too. I mean, we're crazy. We're the crazy ones here. But, no, I mean, you'd have a right to be pissed if you're... you spent 2 grand on something that didn't work. If back in the day when I built my first PC, I bought a 1080 Ti for it. Back in the day, whenever I built that PC, it was $1,000 to get the 1080 Ti. My overall PC build was approximately like $2,500.
Yeah.
Now, like 1,000 of that was solely on the 1080 Ti. And at the time, I was like, yes, I need this because it's a really good graphics card. And, you could argue that, yeah, you kind of needed it back then because if you wanted to hit 2K resolution or maybe even 4K, you needed them. Nowadays, it's a lot easier to hit that resolution and you don't need to have a 5090 or a 5080 or whatever. You can hit it with just the 3000 series or the 4000 series. Like at this point, I would look at it and just go, I don't want to spend the $1,000 or $2,000. I'll wait a year and then it'll be like 800 maybe.
Well, that's the thing with like PC gaming. I built my PC right around COVID times ish, and it was very difficult to get parts for what I wanted to build. And it's by no means this massive streaming rig that can run blah blah blah. It's not. I built it with the idea in mind that it can just play my games and I could care less about overclocking or whatever have you with all those fancy terms. But I think this boils down to the problem of availability of parts. And again, much like you said, you can wait however many months, the 6 months that it's not going to be available to repurchase or whatever, and something new is going to come out by then. That's just the nature of PC gaming in a nutshell, where it's like, I got the latest and greatest, but over the summer they're going to announce the 6020 or whatever number they want to run with, and then that's going to put this card to rest. Like, that's how fast things move there.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. Like, next year, 2 years from now, we're going to have the 60 series or the 70 series or whatever, and then you're going to be freaking out about another graphics card that's like 3 grand. I want to put a big emphasis on this of like the scalping side of it.
Yes.
Because I really, really hate scalpers in general. But I do find this hilarious that there are people who, so there are people who are selling the 5090 for, and I have eBay pulled up right now. So some of them right here, you have a 5090 for $4,600, another 5090 for 5,700. You have yet another one for around like 2,500. So that one's actually the cheaper end. Then you also have 5080s that are over 2 grand when you originally spend 1,000 on them. But like that is all absurd. And I'm just saying, please don't, people, do not think that you need this graphics card enough that you go out and you spend like double the amount. These people are ridiculous. You should not feed into them. You should let them waste their money on the $2,000 graphics card that they're not going to use, that's going to collect dust, and have them sell it at a loss later.
Yeah.
Really, you need to do that. But
these are just pictures of the card. They don't
yeah,
have it in
no,
hand. That's what
no,
scares me even more.
some of them are actually in hand. Like some of
Yeah.
them, like the like $5,000 ones are. But then you have people like this, and this is the part that I find funny, where you have this person who's selling the RTX 5090 right here for 1,500 euros, approximately like 1,550 to 1,600 US. And it says read description specifically. And if you do read the description, it says specifically at the end, this is a high quality photo, and it's only the photo.
No. No. No.
And
Nope.
apparently, from what I've seen, there are some people who've talked about it on like Instagram and stuff, where they have said the reason why scalpers are doing that is to ward off bots, because people will use bots to like purchase things without actually like, being involved with the purchase or anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like that's really stupid to begin with. You shouldn't be using the bots in order to purchase things that you're not physically there to purchase.
Yeah.
Because then that leads to a whole mess. But you also shouldn't be selling stuff for like triple the value.
Well, yeah. If I'm paying, let's just say, we K-Lo hit the lottery, and I'm like, oh, that 5090 all of a sudden, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not putting an offer. I'm not buying it unless I see your dumb face next to the graphics card on eBay. I refuse to do that. I'm not going to see here like a render of an image that I can easily whip up real quick if I really wanted to, and then just say like, yeah, take my word, I have it. Like, it's in my basement or whatever. No, like, absolutely not. I need to see the thing. Whenever I got my dog, I seen all the pictures of him. He was 9 weeks old, adorable little thing. And I'm like, I know he's real because that's him. That's him right there. I'm not gonna go with like they put up a JPEG of like a Labrador Retriever. I'm like, that's not the thing. That's not what I wanted. But
Yeah.
it's amazing to me. It's gonna sound so callous and so whatever when I say this, but this stuff is just gonna keep happening because those people are going out camping for 5 days to get this graphics card. Yeah. They're gonna keep doing this because they can drop it in limited quantities and be like, yeah, like, there you go. There's the 5090. Everyone wanted it, but only 25 were made. So it's just going to keep happening. It's just going to keep going. And then, again, 2-3 years down the line, that card you camped out for 5 days is all of a sudden, it ain't worth much. It's just a paperweight.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, here in 2 years, the 5090 is going to be not outdated, obviously, but it's going to be worth like a fourth of the current value. I mean, you see that now with like, if you just go to the GTX 1080, remember back in the day, I specifically said I spent $1,000 on it. Now you can buy a GTX 1080 Ti off of Amazon, been refurbished for $290.
Again, it most likely can run modern games, no problem.
Yeah. Oh, it can. It definitely can. And I mean, my brother-in-law has a 1080 Ti in his PC right now, and it still runs every game just fine.
Yeah,
There's maybe a handful of games that won't run, and that is like for spoken or something for starters, like because it needs a lot of processing power, you know?
everybody wants to play Forspoken. That's the game of the year. But you brought up the point. We're reaching a point with fidelity and stuff like that where it's like, is there even like a point? Is there a difference? Is there anything to kind of sit there and like expand the pixels and really look and say like, yeah, that makes a difference whenever I play. I get the jump from like 1080p to like 4K. That's huge. There's a big difference there. But like 4K, what? Is 8K even a thing? I mean, it was on the PS5 box and they removed that badge. So it's like,
I mean, it is if you work hard enough for it.
there you go. You got to work hard for all your 8K dreams. But I don't know. I wanted to talk about this today because it's a interesting thing that related to something I was interested in the past with like sneakers and like scarcity and camping out for them and all that in gaming, combining the two. It's just a good thing to talk about. But I'm very interested if you're watching this video, if you did happen to get your hands on this, what was the reasoning outside of just having the latest and greatest? Like, is there definitive proof this makes this better because? Like, that's my thing. I want to know. Like, I'm not sitting here saying you're dumb for buying it. Spend the money however you want. Let me know the reason why you bought it. That's what I'm very interested to kind of hear
The
about.
only time we'll call you dumb is if you spent $5,000 on a scalper.
Yeah, don't do that
That's,
because
that one's not good. Do
you'll
not
lose
do
your
that.
money.
Do
You'll
not
lose
feed
your
them.
money. And also, I'm going to vent this out. I spent Microsoft points, that's going to date myself right there, back in the day to get, what was it, 10th Prestige in Modern Warfare 2? And let's just say, I'm not 10th Prestige in Modern Warfare 2 because I got scammed. And you should not get scammed for your real world money, not Microsoft points. Who even does that anymore? But do you have any closing thoughts about any of this?
No, I think I'm good.
That's the nature of the game. But again, if you did happen to purchase this card, or you're more into like the PC graphics card, that situation, join our Discord and let's get a conversation going because I want to know more about this, what makes everything tick. And if you're new to Game Sandwich, consider subscribing for all the latest gaming news, rumors, and reviews. But as of right now, I've been K-Lo, joined by Aden, and we'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.